the scene opens, and I want to kick off with the clip because I think it's pertinent even now to set up our conversation about missed opportunities. And honestly, it's great because it sums up the earlier movie. And so you've got the obviously de-aged Flynn. You've got his son Sam sitting in the bed who appears to be 10, 12-ish. And there's an interaction there, and you see him, it looks like he's putting Sam to bed, but Flynn's actually leaving, going back to the grid, going back to work. And we'll talk about that of what sort of his vision and dream is. But to start off with this idea of missed opportunities, so just sort of hold that thought in your mind as we listen to the opening clip and conversation of the movie.
And the world was more beautiful than I ever dreamed, and also more dangerous than I ever imagined. Hop in bed now, kid. Come on. Now, I met a brave warrior.
Tron.
Bum, 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 Tron.
He fights for the users.
He sure does. Oh, man, he showed me things that no one had ever imagined. There are these disc battles fought in spectacular arenas and cycles that raced on ribbons of light. So radical. And together,
You built the grid.
we built a new grid for programs and users. Now, I couldn't be in there all the time, so I created a program in my own image that could think like you and me. And I called him Clue.
Codified likeness utility.
That's right. And Clue, Tron, and I, we built a system where all information was free and open. It's beautiful. And then, one day, something happened. Something extraordinary. A miracle.
What was it?
That'll have to wait till next time. I gotta get to work.
I want to go with you, Dad.
Yeah, well, one day you will. I promise.
To the grid?
Good night, Sam. Hey, what do you say? Tomorrow, you and I hit the arcade. You can have a crack at the old man's high score. First game's on me.
Can we play doubles? On the same team?
We're always on the same team.
I mean, so much to unpack there. I mean, Flynn being a creator, a radical in his own way, and even from the first Tron, he was the original Tron movie. He was an outsider, right? He was kind of a proto. Forgive the rhyme, but he was a proto tech bro in the 80s, right? And a guy, who would come in and disrupt things like for real and have something to offer, not just break something just to break it. Somebody who puts, disruptor on their LinkedIn profile. I mean, that immediately makes me not want to talk to them. But somebody who's actually got something to offer instead of the status quo, that was Flynn. And so he's now telling that epic story to his son and inviting his son into the bigger adventure. Mm-hmm. Right. And he's saying, Sam's saying, one day I want to go with you. And Flynn says, you will, I promise. And that, really sets up the story of he and Sam. And then he talks about Clue, and it was a program I made in my own image. That phrase was not accidental. That was deliberate.
Yeah.
And, Clue obviously becomes we see him quickly. That's the Satan character in the movie, the corrupted, once beautiful thing. Even as Flynn is driving off and Sam is going to sleep, you can tell that they have a close relationship, and you come to find out later in the story, his mom had passed away and it was just the two of them and his grandparents. But that closeness of father and son, and that desire for the son to follow in the father's footsteps, that becomes a recurring theme throughout the whole movie as well.